have a pretty good harmonic balancer install tool, but as much as I like that, I still want to hit this a little bit just to expand it enough to make it a little easier to put on there. Now, like I said, I've done this a bunch of times, I guess now, and sometimes it's fine, and other times it leaks. I don't know if there's an exact science for it, but this is the proper way to do it. I heated that up. I'll thread this guy in, and this allows you to really get a good seat inside of there, so you can really start to crank on this nut to tighten this thing down. So that's in all the way. That's not going anywhere, right? And then we can slide this guy in, and then you can take a big wrench or something to kind of pull it in. But I don't have the timing cover. It's not tightened down. See how it's loose? That'll give me the wiggle I need, and it's supposedly lined up on the bracket down here so that when I actually have to, it'll move out of the way so I won't hopefully crush my front main seal like I did the last time. Seems like it's going on. You guys can see. Oh, it's starting to turn the motor. Look at that. Might have to lock up the other side. If you're doing this on the car, you can keep the car in park, or if you're a wuss, or first gear, you kind of hold it in place. Which I'm probably gonna have to put something on the other end there to hold it in place. All right, not a pro tip, but a tip. If you're in a pinch, I took the old flywheel and I just lined up holes and just drilled them out. So, see that there? Both those holes lined up and drilled out. I don't care if I gouge this flywheel up, it's basically trash to me. But, I got a piece of aluminum here, so I'll bolt those two bolt holes to the motor, and as I torque that down, it should hold the crank in place. So I just got the two bolts in there, right? Not an exact science. I'm assuming that's enough aluminum to hold, but as I torque this down, that should hold it in place against the engine stand. Let's try it. So the engine, see there, that pipe, or this piece of metal is stuck on this one down there at the bottom. So hopefully, when I go ahead and rotate it here, it doesn't rotate anymore. Let's see. Yeah, it's holding it. Might mean it's time to actually put our actual bolt on there and torque it down. I can't seem to find the 12-point impact for that. I might have to go to actually get a one off to get that one on. This is an ARP reusable crank bolt, so we're gonna do it right this time.
If you're looking for a great way to support our channel, check out lowboostfilms.com. Not only does this support the channel, but you'll look great while you do it as well. We have a great selection of different types of apparel and merchandise that you guys can buy. I also have a selection of car parts and tools that we've reviewed on the channel that we know work well for sale on there as well at a good price, so make sure you check it out.
All right, I got it on. I don't have the bolt torque down, but how do I really know that is where to actually tighten that down so I don't destroy this front main seal again? All right, so I got the windage tray on. The oil pickup tube gets torqued to 106 inch-pounds, and the windage tray bolts are 18 foot-pounds. So go ahead and do that now. I like to do that one first because you won't get this one on really if you don't do that one first. All right, so I now have my alignment plate snug with the timing cover so that it's pulling it down as low as it can go, so that makes it perfectly flush with the block. Now what I'm doing differently this time than I did last time is I'm hitting I hit the bolt with some brake cleaner just to clean off all the threads, and then I'm just going to use a little bit of thread locker, blue. It's probably not even called for, but I just don't want any of these to vibrate loose, and because if they do, that could shift this and then cut the timing cover again, which would not be fun. But once all these are in, I'll torque it down to 18 foot-pounds as what it calls for, and hopefully that's going to make this as good as I can get it without cutting my timing cover again. Because after all that, where I thought the engine was blown up, I did have blow-by. There was definitely blow-by, but where I thought it was so bad that it was blowing out the front main seal, it wasn't bad enough that it blew out the front main seal. The front main seal was shot because my timing cover must have came loose, or I didn't line it up properly when I put it on, when I did the cam swap. So you live and you learn. Thought I did it, but I'm gonna use blue Loctite this time just to prevent any of these from coming loose and having that issue again. And then once all of them are in, I'll star pattern it, torque it to 18 foot-pounds, and we'll call it a night. By the time I actually did this, I had already done one LS swap where I swapped the cam and did a whole timing cover on it in my E36 Turbo LS swap, and I don't think I did as good of a job putting that timing cover on and the balancer on as I did with this the first time I did it. And that one has never leaked a drop, but this one did. I don't know if it has anything to do with the aftermarket balancer, because I have like a regular stock Camaro balancer on that one. No idea, but I do know I definitely was more careful. I feel like I was more careful when I did this the last time, and it still cut the gasket anyway. So I know some people I talk to say it's a crapshoot no matter how you do it, so just try to do your best. So that seems pretty flush, and we'll put the oil pan on. Okay, now that we got all that out of the way, I'll put the oil pan on. I'm not going to tighten down the oil pan all the way, just because I still have to do the rear main cover and all that. So we're just going to get it so I could flip it over, hang it, and then we'll be good to go from there. So first that, there it is. All right, so I used an ARP 12-point bolt, but I had to go buy a whole kit at Harbor Freight just to get this socket. It's a 1 1/16 12-point socket that goes in there, and we're gonna tighten it down to 235 foot-pounds. Let's see if that metal piece holds up. Let's see. You're gonna have to somebody stand up. I don't think that's going anywhere. That bolt worked.
All right, I still have a few more things I have to do to this engine before I actually go ahead and drop it back into the Corvette. So make sure you guys follow along because I got a couple more things I want to do in the upcoming videos. So stay tuned, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you can't wait until next week's video, make sure to check out these videos that I already have ready to go.